What if you could build a business that gives you the life of freedom you deserve? What if you could find the secrets to marketing, leadership, customer service, and other aspects of business that help you exceed your goals? What if you could walk away from your business for 30 days and it never misses a beat? That's what this podcast is for, to help business leaders like you find freedom from the day-to-day grind and start spending your time doing the things you love. I'm Levi McClendon, and my co-host is Josh Taylor, and this is the Cheers to Freedom podcast.
Hey, welcome to the Cheers to Freedom podcast. I am your host, Josh Taylor, and I'm with my co-host in person, Levi McClendon. Levi, it's good to see you at my house this time.
At Josh Taylor's house, and we have a little announcement here. Happens to be his birthday today.
The big 3-0.
Again.
10 years straight.
So happy birthday to Josh Taylor. If you guys have his contact information, it'd be awesome if you just blew his phone up big time.
Yeah.
And email.
Some of you do already anyway, so it's cool. No, actually, it's kind of funny. You know, today is my 40th birthday, and you and I, we've been having a lot of conversations about time and life and culture and why we do what we do. And, those of you that follow me on social media, I made a post about that today, actually. And this idea of controlling time and just kind of the lessons that we've learned. And, you're almost like 70. And so you've learned a lot of lessons over the years. And, you've had businesses and you're this entrepreneur. But Optspot, it seems, has been different. It's been different for you. It's been different for me. I feel like it's been different for everybody that works with us. And honestly, I think for majority of our customers that are really involved and engaged in what we're doing, it's been a different experience for them than other vendors and marketing agencies that they've worked with. And that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about this idea, and I'm just going to throw it out there, and then I want to kind of let you kind of talk about all the things that have been in your head. But it's this idea that Optspot is about not being transactional like most businesses are, but being transformational. And that's both internally and externally for us. So talk a little bit about just this idea. You and I have been talking a lot about this. So what does this transaction versus transformation mean for you?
Yeah, and you're right. I've had several businesses. I've had failures. I've had successes. And I think you try to learn from your failures. And as time goes on, time's finite. Mm-hmm. It's the same for all of us every single day. So it's, what are you doing with your time? How are you enjoying what you're doing? And I think the different stages of my life, Josh, from the time when I was younger and my kids were younger, and I still have young kids, but it really kind of changed for me of where I wanted to spend my time, what I wanted to do to impact the people around me. And I think for the stage of life even that I'm at right now, and even with this company, it's all about the transformation. Mm-hmm. I think, and I'll be honest, I mean, there's other businesses that I could do, that I could have done in the past, that was really about a transaction. And it doesn't excite me. Like, it's, you could sell these widgets all day long, but if there wasn't a bigger purpose to it, if we weren't in some type of transforming somebody's life, then I'm really not that interested. And I think it's because we do realize, and yes, I actually will be 50 in January.
Oh, so, okay,
good. Not 70. But you realize too, man, that as your life, as time goes by, you look back on it and go, man, again, nobody ever, sits on the deathbed and goes, hey, I wish I would have worked more.
Right.
Even though we love work. I love what I do. I love doing
But there's a reason we love it.
But there is a reason. It's the work and what we do is what helps us provide for our families. Spend the time out coaching football, coaching baseball, being there with our kids, being there with our spouses, our friends, and really enjoying life. Work is a tool. Our business, it's, as we know, that is a tool, but it can also overtake our lives.
Right.
And so as we start, as I started in, Josh said, he wants to know what's in my head. There's too much in my head to go over right now. Yeah,
dangerous question.
But as of the most kind of recent, just where, kind of assessing Optspot and where we are and where we're going and where we want to be as a company, man. It starts with you. It starts with our people, our employees. And this idea of transformation, I mean, I absolutely like the reason that I wake up every day and get excited about what I do is for the people that now work for us. We're up to about 20 employees. And I'm like, wow, we're responsible for these people. And it's not just a job and money, but it's what are we doing to impact and transform their lives?
Yeah.
And I love talking to you and, Josh, now the last few, couple years being with Optspot. He's down here. We're at his new house here in Panama City Beach. He lives close to the beach, and it's impactful. And that impacts me with, Jeremy, our CEO, has been with us almost 10 years. The guys that are on board, we have a lot of young guys, Josh, that, from 22, 23, 24. I remember being those ages and just thinking, gosh, I want to plan for my life and buy a home, or where do I invest in whatever. And to be able to now impact their lives and help transform them into who they're going to be, that's huge. And then it goes from that into our customers. And so that's where we started talking today is I want to be a transformation partner with our customers and not a transaction. Yeah. Transactions, anyone can make a transaction, right? Anyone. Optspot's about transforming people's lives. It's a transformation partnership, strategic partnership that we have with our customers that gets me excited. And the difference in those, Josh, is just that. Anyone, like I said, can do a transaction. It's very platonic. It's very just, here's what it is. Transformation is having a relationship. It's understanding what the goals are of that customer. It's caring that they're spending way too much time in the weeds doing things that they shouldn't. You know why? Because they don't now have the time to spend that time with their family. They don't have the time to spend the time with their spouse, go on those vacations, do those things that are really important in life, and then teach their employees to do the same things. And so those are the relationships that I feel like are very important that we want to continue to grow internally as well as with our customers.
So before we get into the how of how Optspot has kind of transformed into this transformational business, which it's really always been that way because that's your personality, that's who you are. But when Levi hired me, it's been just over 2 years now, and before he hired me, he had offered me a job a couple of times, and I turned him down. And I told my wife why I turned him down, and the reason is because, gosh, he spends so much time with his customers. I said, I don't know if I have the time for that. I don't know if I can do what he does. I feel like I would be working all the time because he cares so much about his customers and about their success that he gives all of himself to it. And I'm trying to learn this work-life balance, and I just gotten out of career in pastoral ministry, and that had consumed me. And there's a lot of time that you give to that, and I just was afraid of stepping into a role where you're doing that. And the more that I got to know Levi and the more that I got to know Jeremy, and at that point, I was the 7th employee that were coming on, and now we're at 20. And so Optspot has grown quite a bit in the last 2 years. I began to learn, and as Optspot has transformed even over the last 2 years, that there was a way of being able to have a transformational business without relinquishing control of your life and your time. And so I want to talk about how you were able to build a company culture that our customers and the people that are watching this can also do with their business. It's, I heard somebody say a car wash is a car wash is a car wash. And I hate that because maybe his car wash was a car wash, just a car wash. But I feel like a car wash can be a transformational business. It can be something that gives people a moment of joy or a moment of happiness in their day, not just because their car is clean, but because of the experience that they had interacting with an employee or an owner or something like that. So, Levi, talk to us about, really it starts with you and what you've done, because you've built a successful company, but you've shared that success. And you've shared it from the top down. Obviously, I'm an example of that. So tell us how you've done it. Talking about this who, not how principle.
Yeah. So early on, you do everything, right? You get in and you do it. And especially as an entrepreneur, you just do what you have to do to survive. But as time goes on, as you learn that if you want to grow and you want to provide services, it's 100% the who that you bring on, right? It's getting the right people in the right seats. And so, especially lately as we have grown to 20 people or so, understanding the roles that each person takes in their unique ability. And we're going to talk more about that actually at the Freedom Summit. So I don't want to get too far into it. But when you get people that love what they do, like Josh, who loves marketing, he loves talking to you guys, he loves the ideas. I've been fortunate enough to hire the right who's, and I don't have to be the one to know how to do it anymore. Mm-hmm. So I was that early on, right? Because you have to, like, you just kind of do it. But what I love about where we're at now, and this is something that I really want to bring to our customers, because I see so many customers, Josh, in the weeds. Mm-hmm. They're just doing it all because they're just like, this is what we have to do. But when you take a step back and you say, okay, who should be doing that is their unique ability, that is something that they're really good at, that they love to do. Those are the people that you have to get in the right seats so that you can actually grow as a company. Mm-hmm. Because there comes a time that you can't. You're right. I did probably work too much. When you first start, you kind of go through those phases. But when you understand that there's people that are better than you at what you're doing, and as an entrepreneur, that's hard. It's hard for me to swallow that, hey, I'm not the best at all of it. But that probably is the biggest thing for me, Josh, is I'm transforming, right? So I'm trying to really take a step back and say, Josh he's better than I am at in these. He's got to go with it, and I give him the green light to do it. Yeah. And then I back off, and I work with Jeremy. You guys all know Jeremy too, and I work with our CTO, and I have to back off and say I am not the one that has to learn how to do that anymore. And I'll tell you, it's transforming our business and our company. And what's awesome is that everyone on our team feels the same way. Yeah. So as Josh is bringing on other people that are working with Josh, they're the who that he needs to be assigning things to that are working in their unique ability so that he doesn't have to be the one to do it. He gets to focus and operate where he loves to operate. And so we're going to get more into the who, not how kind of principles at the Freedom Summit. So I don't want to get too far into it, but I'll tell you, it's game changing. Yep. It literally is transforming our company. I think it's going to help transform the owners of the car wash, and not just owners, but different departments and people. When you get to work in that unique ability and you love what you do, man, it's absolutely game changing. So, you guys, you and Jenny and your family have done some really great traveling this year, and people comment like, man, Levi's, getting to do all these things, and how do you guys get things done? And are you missing? And we're like, well, not really, because he surrounded himself with the right people, and he's put the right people in the right place. And you have been the type of leader that has built a healthy company, but it hasn't been easy. And there was a time where you didn't have time to go anywhere, but as you've grown the company, you've been able to maneuver it and build that right business. And when we talk to customers about being a part of things or doing like the Freedom Summit, and people have come to us and said, well, there's just so much going on, I don't have the time. I want my response, and sometimes my response has been, that's why you need to be there. Yes. Because we're going to give you the tools, not just the tools, but the information that you need so that time is never an excuse. Like if time is an excuse, I can't do this because I don't have time, and it's something that you want to do. Like sometimes we don't have time to do something because it is a waste of our time. Right. But if there's something that you want to be a part of and you can't because time is an excuse, that's exactly why you need to be there, because you're not doing something right. And so we want to give our customers the tools. But honestly, every single tool that we have, every service that we provide is to answer the question or to respond to you not having the time. We've used an example of one of our customers that is very engaged with what we do, that does a lot of the things that we do, but he has struggled with time to respond to reviews. Well, we have a tool for that. And we're saying to him, you shouldn't be doing that because, yeah, you're right, you don't have time because your time is more valuable than responding to reviews online. We have a tool to do that. Use our tool to do that. Or let's help you put the right person in place to do that for you. But there's no reason why you should be doing that, because when you do it, it costs the company a whole lot more to do that than for us to do it, for less than the price of an employee. Well, I'm going to go back, Josh, real quick and touch on again, yes, it's been a crazy travel year for us and our family, and it's been amazing, and we're extremely blessed. When you get outside of the business, what it also does, it's not just good for us, but it's good for you guys. Josh needs to be able to operate without me. And for the first year or so, it's been, it's hard because I am that A-type personality. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm running the business. And if it's not my way, it's not the right way. And that's not right. It's not right at all. I hired Josh to come in and take ownership and get things done. So when I'm out of the way and he's working in his unique ability, it gives him the confidence when I step out and he runs his portion of the business and does an excellent job. I'm done and gets all these people saying how amazing he is and blah, blah, blah. That's huge for him and his confidence, and it's huge for mine. And it shows that we can run this. I can step away. The business can run. He's operating in his unique ability. And I think it's good for everybody. I really do, especially with the, entrepreneurs stepping out and letting, even if you make mistakes, let them make mistakes. And to your point on time, I could not agree more that if you can't attend the Freedom Summit because you don't have the time, you need to attend the Freedom Summit.
Do whatever
it takes. Because I think the things that it's going to be awesome. And what we're going to be able to deliver to you guys is going to, I believe, transform and change who you are, your business, your perception. You've got to get out of your business and look at it from the outside. This is the opportunity to do that. Josh, we're going to Funnel Hackers. And it's an event that we go to every year, and it's in a couple weeks actually. And
it's this week.
Oh, it's this week.
Don't miss the flight.
Okay, so we're going to Funnel Hackers. And what's awesome about it is I don't even know all the content that we're going to get. But what I love is that I get to sit there and I get to get away and I get to be poured into by the people that are on the stage. All of a sudden, there are things when we're in the middle of it, when we're in the weeds, when we're running our business and we're, whatever, we don't always see it. So when we can get outside ourselves and we can sit there and whether it's life-changing or not, and a lot of times it is, there's usually a nugget, something that we'll take back. You walk away with something. And part of the who, not how, and we'll get into it more with Dan Sullivan, whatever, that he also, part of their strategy that we're learning is taking, days off and having buffer days. And recouping and getting outside and looking in. And I think that for me has been huge. Yeah. The decisions I've made for this company, the decisions that have come to me, even to pivot towards car washing, I was in a tree stand, deer hunting, praying and reading, and that's when it happened. I wouldn't be here today if I wasn't taking that time off to really reflect on the business and get out of it. So that's what this Freedom Summit, this should be on your calendar. This should be, and again, whether you just get one nugget or 5 or 10 or whatever, that one is going to be worth it, I promise. Because these are times that you need to get away, mingle with people that are like-minded, transformational type characters, people that want freedom of time, money, relationships, purpose, people that security. People that want to insulate, people that want to provide for their families, people that want to provide for their employees, people that want to transform their employees' lives. And then the customers coming through, we talk about that. You do that in your own business, and guess what? Your customers, it's just not a transaction anymore. It's transformational. And like you said, I hate the car wash is a car wash. If that's what you said, you probably shouldn't come to the Freedom Summit because you're not our people. Our people are the ones who say, yes, we are making a difference in the lives of people who are coming through our car wash every day. You don't know their story. You don't know their life. You don't know what they've been through. Can you have an effect on their lives and change their lives? You can in any business that we have. And you have to care. You have to smile. You have to interact. But you have to also, from the top down, do the same thing and be transformational. And now we're transforming people's lives from the top down to our employees to the customers that are coming through our wash. Those are the people that are going to be around. If you agree, if that resonates with you and you're listening to this, you're our people. You need to be at the Freedom Summit. Do you agree? I'm getting fired up. Here we go.
So if you want to hear more of Levi's sermons, I feel like we can just play a song
now. Here we go.
And we can all go to Popeyes and be good. No, but you're exactly right. And I feel like, we can just kind of end it there. If you're listening to this and you feel like you're just in the weeds of everything and you feel overwhelmed. And honestly, and, right now, I do feel like people are feeling very overwhelmed. Personnel is hard. Finding good people to work for you is hard. Letting go of things is hard. Being a great leader is hard. Building a healthy business is hard. And if you feel that overwhelm right now, one, I want you to stop and just think, okay, what am I doing right now that I can give to somebody else? That's your call to action listening to this. What am I doing right now that I probably shouldn't be doing? And one, somebody else can be doing this and probably can do a better job at doing this, but for whatever reason, you can't let it go. And then two, go to opspotfreedomsummit.com and register for the Freedom Summit, because just find a way to be there. If you have stuff on the calendar, if you've got, a lot of people have haunted tunnels. The reality is you probably don't have to be there for that to go off. And the other thing is it would, probably be better for you if you have to not be there or to cancel the thing to be here at the Freedom Summit so that you can do it better next year, or somebody else will actually do it better for you next year. But the reality is you've got to be at the Freedom Summit. But like Levi said, if that doesn't resonate with you, if your business is all about being transactional, like so many businesses are, then the Freedom Summit isn't for you. But if you want to transform people's lives, and if you want to transform your life and the people that work for you and their families, like Levi has done for the Optspot crew, be at the Freedom Summit. And this isn't just a sales pitch. Like, we care. Like, this is for real. Like, I hope you can feel our passion coming through. We're not doing the Freedom Summit to make money. We're probably going to lose money on it in the short term, but we do it because we know it can be transformational for the people that are there. It's always transformational for us too. Just hanging out with our customers, talking to them, learning from them, as it's not just them learning from us. So, yeah.
And real quick, I will tell you, last year when we did this, I wasn't sure about it. And when we first
can I tell the story? I want to tell the story because I almost told the story the other day.
See what he does to me?
So Levi was up in his hotel room the morning the Freedom Summit was starting, and he was working on his introductory speech, and he was probably up all morning just memorizing it and working on it, and so he shows up. We were starting at 9, and I made it very clear that we're starting on time. We start every session on time. We end every session on time. So we were starting at 9 o'clock. I think you rolled into the room at 8:57, and I was like, "All right, you got to get up on the stage. It's time." You got his mic. It was cutting it so close we forgot to even turn the lights on the stage. So you did your introduction speech in the dark, but you were rattled. I feel like I know I rattled you because I didn't give you any time to just kind of stop. And so you were nervous. You gave such a great speech, and we actually have a video of it. That it was such a great speech, and it was the perfect way to start the summit. But you came off the stage after you did it. You walked up to Jeremy and I, and you're like, "We're not doing this again next year. Like, I don't. Y'all can do it if you want to. We're not doing this again next year."
True story.
And then we went through the summit. We went through 2 days of the summit, and you were still kind of on the fence, but you were more leaning towards, okay, this was really fun. This was really great. It was really valuable. And so we asked everybody in the room, if we did this again next year, who would be there? And 100% of the hands went up in the room. And that was
a game changer.
We knew, all right, we're going to do this again this year. And most of the people that came last year are coming again this year. And so that should tell you something right there. And that's a true story. And
100% true. I told my wife, I said, I'm not doing this again. I don't have to do this. We don't have to put this on. I don't have to put myself on the stage and get nervous. And
you were so aggravated. You were like, I'm not doing this again. And by the end of it,
but you know what? But when everyone raised their hand, and that's because I care about the value that our customers get. And that was so big to me. And when they said, we'll come back again, I'm like, done. And so, and it's still a lot of pressure. We've been planning for a while.
We got all new
excited.
Content.
We got new content. We have some new purpose. We're a different company today. We're full service, full-fledged marketing company, which is different than we were a year ago. So we have a lot more products. And so anyway, good stuff, Josh.
Honestly, we don't have time to do this, but we're doing it.
We don't. I even talked. I'm like, should we do this? But in reality, those of you who signed up, those of you who are coming down here, make all of this worth it.
Yeah.
You really do.
Oh my gosh.
Because you guys buy into what we're doing. You have successful washes. You pour back into us. We pour into you. And man, that's what makes it worth it. So we are very excited about it. Hey, make sure to text cheers to 411-365. Please text cheers to 411-365. You'll get the information about the podcast and whatnot. Please subscribe, share, comment. We love comments, good comments, bad comments. Keep to yourself. Or make them about somebody else.
Feel like how you feel when you get a negative review.
Yes, exactly. And the summit is October. It's not too late to sign up. The rooms.
The room block ends the 25th. We're going to try to extend it, but I don't know that we can guarantee that. It's going fast because the Destin Fishing Rodeo is at the same time. So it's not just our crew that's taking up the rooms, it's other people. So get there while you can. And it's October 25th through the 27th in Sandestin, Florida. We're going to play golf on Wednesday.
The 25th. So come in the 24th if you want to play golf. Although Sakar, you're probably going to hear this. He's coming in early the 25th, but don't do that. Come in the 24th, stay the night, and we're doing a shotgun start on the 25th at about, I think, 10:30. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
And then we finish on Friday at noon, so you can fly out Friday afternoon. So.
And you don't have to play golf. That's optional, but if you like to play golf, come hang out.
And I always recommend staying for the weekend and spending some time on the beach because the weather is still really nice down here in Florida that time of year.
Yeah, for sure. It's a good time.
Hey, good episode. This was more personal. It was a little bit more candid, and hopefully it was valuable to you. But figure out what you're doing that you shouldn't be doing and find somebody that can do it better than you.
All right.
Cheers.
Till next time, man. Cheers.